So I don't think I ever seriously wanted to be a lawyer, but it was getting close to graduation and I needed to pretend that I had a plan. So one summer, close to the end of college, I spent living in Washington, D.C. doing this internship at the public defender's office, supposedly as a step towards law school. And it was going okay until about halfway through the summer when I realized that my student loan was running out and I was going to have to get a part-time job if I was going to make it through this summer. So I was staying with some family near DuPont Circle, right up the street from the Church of Scientology. And coincidentally, right about that time I started looking for a part-time job, a help wanted sign appeared in the window of the Church of Scientology. So I figured that this could possibly make my summer a little bit more interesting. So I put in an application and set up this interview, and the lady told me this would take place over several phases over the course of 3 days. So the first day, they asked me a bunch of personal questions and a bunch of stuff about my medical history, and I had to watch a video of John Travolta talking about controlling time, energy, space, and matter. And then on the second day, I came back and I had to take an IQ test and a personality test. And this was all for like a part-time clerical position, so I'm thinking that this is kind of intense, but I went along with it because I knew that if I could make it to the third day, in the final phase, they were going to hook me up to the electropsychometer. So I was pretty excited about that. For those of you who don't know, an e-meter is a machine that the Scientologists use to monitor your psychological states during an audit session. So when it came time for the reading, I was really excited. I grabbed onto these cylindrical metal things and watched the e-meter because I wanted to see what it would do when the interviewer started hitting me with these really intense questions. But she was just fooling around with the knobs for a little while until she said, "This is not going to work." And I asked her why not, and she said, "It's your dyads. Totally flatlined." Now, normally this kind of thing wouldn't upset me too much, especially since the next thing she said was that I had scored in the lowest percentile on the personality test. And then she tried to sell me some Scientology textbooks. So, but the whole thing with the e-meter reminded me of this other weird thing that had happened just a few weeks earlier. All right, I had been walking down Connecticut Avenue one evening and this attractive woman in a long, loose-fitting skirt came up to me and asked me if I wanted a tarot card reading. And she only wanted $10, so I followed her up these stairs, up over an ice cream shop, into her apartment. But when we sat down at her table, she told me that she couldn't find her tarot cards. So she offered me, as an alternative, she offered to analyze my third eye. Which, granted, I know sounds kind of fishy, but I was interested because I get a lot more out of things like eye exams than the average person, because things like eye exams give me ASMR. Does anybody here know what that means? Okay, so I experience a pleasurable tingling sensation on the top of my head when people speak to me in whispers and give me up-close personal attention. A lot of people do, okay? There's like tens of thousands of YouTube videos, you can look it up right now, of people doing role plays of pretending to give you a medical exam or to search your scalp for head lice or give you an ear cleaning. And for the past couple years, I've watched these videos almost every single day because they make me feel so good. And the thing that gives me the best head tingles every time is when the person speaking has like a really thick foreign accent, which this lady did. And here she was, offering to give me a real life eye exam of sorts. So I said, yeah, we could do that. So she dims the overhead lamp and lights some candles and then stares really hard, like in the space right in between my eyebrows. And she starts to do some of this action. And just as I'm starting to get into it, she says, this is not good. Your third eye is almost completely closed. It's like this. Wow. So now flash forward 2 weeks to the Scientology thing, and it's like confirmation from 2 independent sources that my energy flow, my chi, my prana is withering up and dying inside of me. So obviously I did not end up going to law school.